What's good, you wonderful listeners and viewers who are watching this on YouTube? I promise you will be on Spotify eventually when I clear off my to-do list. Welcome to the ASN podcast. We are your hosts.
Acerus, Mike.
Hi, and my name is Waldo, a streamer and anime lover extraordinaire.
Care or Steve? I'm just a dude. That's just me, just a dude.
You're just a little guy. And I'm your
dude.
host, Cyborg. Thank you for tuning in to this episode 5, I think.
Yeah, it's episode.
Yeah, 5 is a good number. Mike is our special host. He's making his hosting debut. Fuck, I can speak words. We have a fun show packed today. Usually we're an anime podcast, but this time we're going to be diving into a tangentially related world of video games. We have a packed show talking about the handheld market, some video game anime adaptations. I'm going to give my usual hot takes, a little bit more. But before that, how's everybody? What have we been up to in the 3-4 weeks since recording and we all last talked to each other on camera?
Well, I've been working on and horrendously failing at trying to get through my backlog of games that have come out this year. been sitting on and playing Assassin's Creed Shadows for what feels like forever, and since then I've gotten Silent Hill F, Borderlands 4. Let's see what else here. Expedition 33, that are all sitting on my shelf waiting to be played and are still in their store wrapping, just completely untouched. So, like I said, completely failing at it.
I mean, for me, it's funny. I just today started playing Mutant League Football 2, and they came out with it. They finally came out with the Dynasty thing. So I've been playing that nonstop. Outside of that, I've been playing Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So
How is that one?
High probability. I think for those of you who are watching who do the online playing games with us in regards to ASN, I'm high key thinking about doing a virtual session playing that game.
An ASN Grand Prix?
Mm-hmm.
You play Mario Kart?
Not with Mario. That's coming up later. We'll talk about
I was gonna say, how does that compare to Mario Kart? Because Mario Kart's usually been like the kart racing king for what feels like forever.
Here's a dumb question: is it king in the same way like Madden is the football game king, because it's unchallenged, therefore it doesn't need to innovate much? Like, as long as it works, not buggy. I own Nintendo systems. I just don't like Nintendo is my kind of like backup console where I'm like, oh, I have Pokemon and like JRPGs. I'm happy.
Definitely. I mean, to some extent, I guess it's kind of unchallenged. I think it's right now that Sonic has been kind of like pushing against that, but there are other circumstances involved in that. So.
Yeah, Sega's usually, very rarely will put out like a racing game. But yeah, for the most part, that's kind of an interesting thought that I never really thought about, is that racing games kind of took like a back pedal. Like, there was a point where like you had like franchises that didn't even normally have anything to do with racing games, like Crash or even like Jack and Dexter, eventually got their own like racing games, and now it's like it's so dried up. It's like, one of the most notorious like shuttered was The Crew. You don't really see racing games that much anymore.
Isn't The Crew from Ubisoft?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it is, yeah.
Which, if it's from Ubisoft,
like,
I was going to track.
Like stop people from playing the like old Crew games and that kind of thing. So I kind of stay away from Ubisoft because they be on some extra stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of spicy controversy there.
Steve and I are on the same like gaming kind of, like, we both love anime, but at the same time, gaming is pretty high on our priority.
Yeah, it's definitely like the big thing. I definitely have more like shared like game interests, I think, with like most people than like anime. Like, I'll just sit there and say like my favorite anime is Family Guy.
Oh my god.
I mean, I guess technically.
Let's not start this because actually that's gonna be a fun debate to start later. I need to
That's a
start
whole
like
nother show. A whole nother show.
I Waldo and Mike, you guys have not been around. Steve remembers like when I was a nightmare in the ASN server because I would just come in and throw a grenade in the hot take section and like just start flame wars. I'll be like, that's my entertainment. That's my entertainment.
That I may not have been around for that personally with ASN for those particular bits, Cyborg, but I can relate because in other servers that I've been on, that would have been me doing that.
Yeah.
So.
It's so much fun too because I'm like, I just want to start something today. Let me just like put a topic and just see where it goes. And like 4 hours later, people are still debating some niche point.
Hell, that was the topic of some of the some discussions in panels I would make for anime conventions. So.
Ooh. All right, Steve, what have you been up to in this busy time? We're so
Yeah,
busy.
there's been a couple different things. Yeah, so I guess of late I've actually been getting into with helping with coordinating the New Jersey Halloween event. Which shout out ASN is going to be having 2 Halloween parties. So that's been pretty fun, getting to kind of do that, revisit a very similar venue, and kind of preemptively deal with some challenges that we had there. And honestly, everything's been going pretty fucking smoothly. It's largely part of just like because we have the benefit of hindsight, a bit of both. We know what we don't like. Last time we didn't know what we didn't know. Now we actually have like a sense of like, what are the things that we want to check, what are the things we don't know. It's a lot of unexpected like challenges, and there's a lot of things that you kind of like don't expect becomes fundamentally different from doing a Halloween party over a standard anime party. Like, and not to get too far in like the weeds or tangent here. Like, for example, if you're trying to do like say a cosplay contest typically when you're doing like a typical anime party, you only have like at most maybe 1/5 of like your guests cosplaying anything, and a lot of them probably aren't even gonna be like wanting to like do like any contest or anything. It might just be something that they just like bought or whatever. Halloween, I don't know if you know this, but Halloween is actually a holiday where people dress up.
Holy shit, really?
In costumes?
What? No.
Oh damn!
So
this is news to me.
Waldo,
I just ate
Waldo, did you know
it works out where basically everyone ends up entering a cosplay contest, and you have to figure out how do you mitigate like all of that. So we had some pretty good ideas that we talked about there. So I'm pretty excited.
The fact that you're doing a cosplay contest at a Halloween party, I'm having war flashbacks to 2024 where I didn't eat on my day off because
I was gonna say you're starting to exhibit some what look to be strong feelings there, Cyborg.
It also, oh god, we have to get a Patreon so we can like tell behind the scenes setup stories because I'm just gonna say the audio system from last year where I ended up buying you the drink because you and our other colleague were fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
And
we still have to preempt a little. So we still have to do something around. But we have the benefit of having some of our own speaker setups as well. So my hope is that we can do some interesting stuff like, instead of having the whole damn, venue be loud, we can actually have a concentrated area where it's loud, and the rest of the area itself could be like, a little bit more quieter, which is, I think, typically my favorite venues, like even like We Touch Grass events and stuff, they do that. They have the loud area, and then there's a more quiet area, usually closer to the bar, although in this case it might be flipped. And, you can kind of have like a point where you can chill out.
Okay, this is a hot take. Because you said mentioning We Touch Grass. Y'all, I think I'm finally like ready to admit I'm a little old. I feel like old. Because I think the last time we recorded was before Anime NYC. And Mike is just giving me a look. He's like, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up.
Well, that may have been due to something else, because I thought I heard something, and it sounded like pouring the liquid. I'm like,
No, I recognize Mike's like, you're not able to shut up. I recognize that eyebrow raise. Yeah, the last time we recorded,
you're old. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Okay.
Yeah, before Anime NYC, I was like, oh, I love like a good con party. No, we at Anime NYC, we had the benefit of being able like being invited to a couple parties. I think we went out 3 straight nights in New York, and I just remember being
Oof.
in the We Touch Grass one. Amazing show. There is a like
Mm.
younger part of me that like if I didn't do three, like I think it's either party 2 or party 3. So on top of like being at the con all day,
Mm.
if I didn't do them, I would be going ape shit. I would have been going ape shit. I walked into that venue, smiles just ready. I was like, oh, I finally made it to a We Touch Grass show. I love the music. DJ was sick. The DJ was amazing. He fucking was playing a cello or something, like a violin during the set, like timing it up. I really wish I remembered his name.
That's impressive, especially
Wow.
Yeah,
if
as
it's
soon
like
as
full
that,
cello.
That's different. That wasn't
Yeah,
there when I went.
were you there? Like, if did I
Wait,
fever
were we at
dream
the
that? Because I
same one?
remember
No,
like
I'm joking.
they were
Not
playing
an
maybe not cello,
NYC.
violin.
It was a one I think in November in 2024. I think.
Okay, yeah. No, it was a different one. It was
Yeah.
the one that literally just happened in summer this year. It was they're also different DJ, so he could have been the opener. I don't know if he's standard, but this is why I say I'm getting old. Young me would not have cared about being bumped into and getting like stepped on. Pretty sure like someone almost like punched me in the head. In that crowd,
Now you're giving me PTSD because I'm
Yeah.
recalling things from when I went to conventions and whatnot. I actually remember just a short little story. One convention, one Anime Next. I was with a group of people. We were in a hotel room, and one of us was a very heavy sleeper, and he was sleeping on the floor, as is per whatever happens at conventions. And so everyone, so to wake them up, we threw pillows on them, and basically dogpiled them with no warning whatsoever.
no, it wasn't that bad. It was like a high energy, but super like it was a high energy, super enthusiastic crowd, very packed. And so they were just having a good time, and my brain's like, oh, I'm finally at the age where I'm like, yo, I low key need like a little bit of space if I'm going to party, because like us being packed like sardines in like the one section. Also, it's New York, so like venues don't have like the ton of like venues are tall, they're not wide.
Yeah.
So that could be the other thing. I just remember I was like, I got a solid 2 hours in me here, and that 2 hours is going to be increased by 15 minutes for like each drink I consume. And I remember at like 2 hours and 2 hours and 17 minutes, I polished off my drink and we got into like the Ubers or the Lyft or whatever. Went back to the hotel,
wow.
and I said, "Yeah, I don't think I got it in me anymore." Like I was ready to hang it up. I was like, I don't have this partying in me anymore. And then 2 weeks later, I was at Colossal Con hanging over a balcony. But there was space though. That's it. So I'm now I'm like,
It's just got to be the right
I'm like,
setting.
oh, it's a space issue with me.
Space is definitely like a pretty big thing, honestly, because like the more like I feel like the more tightly packed things are, the more energy I feel like you end up like expending. Like the most energy I feel like I've ever expended on a con is still gonna be Anime Expo, which was actually my first anime con. There has never been a con that has ever been more like packed or like condensed still. Like I remember I have this distinct memory of well, which I forget which con it was. I think it was MAOIC is usually spaced out pretty well. I think
Oh, yeah,
it
man,
might have been Otakon or some such, like in like because the Arts Alley sometimes got a little crowded. And I just remember like a buddy of mine was like, like damn, this is like really packed, and it's just like, this is fine.
I think also just giving context because like once again, We Touch Grass, amazing music. It was a great time. So like go if you have the opportunity to go and like treat on your own. I think the thing is this was my first anime NYC like ever. I know, and growing up in Jersey, so it's very odd that I haven't been to it before, right? And so I was going almost the same thing happened to me at DreamCon too. So it's just probably a me thing. I was going, I was like, oh, it's gonna be another con, and then I got and I was like, oh my god, there's so much like cool industry stuff here. We can shoot this, we can get this. My brain immediately went into work mode, and it was like I think like there was no recoup. There was like got back to the hotel room for the convention that we were splitting with everybody. Got changed, basically had enough time to like grab dinner and like sit down for 30 minutes. Like that you're like sit down and you're off your feet and you just like blank out. But then you blink, you're like, oh hey, like the lift is here, we have to go. It was that. It wasn't even like a nap where I could recharge. So my battery was like also I probably like overexpended all my energy that weekend. And once again,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3 parties on like a con where you're also walking 12,000 steps a day is not wise.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
But then I say it. Me and Steve were also at Colossal Con quite literally 10 days later, partying it up in the peanut butter and jelly room. You know, I still have all that peanut butter in my house. Like, we have not gone through it.
Oh my god.
So, all right.
Costco-sized peanut butter. You did too. We both had
Two
the same
good-
idea.
4 Costco-sized peanut butters. Yeah,
Yeah.
just for anyone who's young or hasn't been to a con yet, one con trick. Find the friend who has the BJ's or Costco or Sam Club's membership. Give them like $30 and go buy like peanut butter jelly bread plates. You will thank us later because that's an effective thing to get good nutrition in. Because
well,
no,
good,
I did the math on this because I'm tired of Steve snapping on me every time I get sick after con.
It's
Steve will like
emergency
send me the most concerned lecture of my life. Like if I even like text in the like present chat, like, "Hey guys, I'm feeling a little down," he'll immediately be like, "Yeah, it's because someone decided to do ramen noodles and air all weekend, knowing you are not a ramen noodles and air type dietitian. Why don't you take care of yourself, buddy?" I just get shamed. It's like the episode of Grim Adventures of Billy Matt, and you eat 1 piece of broccoli, do 1 push-up, you get 10 more minutes back of your life. But that being said, with all the con fun, have we been watching or reading anything super interesting lately?
Well, I myself have been doing some catch up on a couple of series that I've finally seen updates that I've been meaning to catch up to, and finally got around to like Rising of the Shield Heroes 4th season.
Okay.
I finally got around to that. That one I don't want to say anything to spoil it, but if you've definitely been holding off or on watching Shield Hero, 4th season is definitely worth it. And then I've been mostly, as far as watching, I've been mostly sticking to my guns, and like I've been on isekai kick for what feels like quite a while. I think the last one I watched was it's one of those like novel types. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. I'm like,
this is not a fuck. I refuse to believe that's real as a title.
That is some high
a real title.
I can co-sign with Waldo.
That is, and it's not, and it's 2 seasons. It's not a one-off. It's 2 seasons.
What?
And then or a couple of ones that I've been watching also. The Unaware Atelier Meister, the Gorilla God. Well, not an isekai, but like one that's like where God blesses, kind of the main character. The Gorilla God's go-to girl. Sounds.
I saw that one. That one looked kind of cute and funny.
It is one of those like cutesy funny series. It's a single season, and then I think before that I was watching Roka Braves of the Six Flowers. I actually watched that twice. I actually think I started watching it. I was like halfway through. I'm like, this sounds familiar. Then I thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I have watched this before.
All right. So besides the Isekai Master, has anybody been watching?
Okay,
there we go.
I was watching the. Surprisingly, it's a good show. I think it's a good show. The Water Magician.
I feel like I heard about that one.
It came out. It's really this season right now.
Okay.
It just ended. It's basically an isekai. The guy comes back. They're like, "Hey, what element do you want to use?" He's like, "I'll use water," and then he goes that route. But outside of that, I started watching Tales of Wedding Rings on let me just put it this way. If you are a younger person, it is not an anime for younger people to watch. Let's put it that way.
Oh.
Is that a... Oh my
I've got
God,
the manga for that.
Oh, 18 plus, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I started watching it like the first 2 episodes, and then it kind of fell back. And then I'm watching it again because the new season 2 is about to come out. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then I'm watching it. I'm like, ooh, that's the reason why.
I wonder if I wonder if they'll come out with more manga volumes because as well. Because I think I forget what they're up to right now. I think I have like volume. I want to say 10. But yeah, it's one of those like it's basically a harem, harem anime.
It's a harem
Okay.
anime.
Not that we've seen this before, but we've seen this before, kind of.
Ultimately, it's like it to me. It reminds me of Techi Muo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What have you been consuming with your eyeballs? And yeah, I said that one on purpose. Clip that.
Okay, so we're not talking about video games. We're just talking about anime and manga now. It's kind of been the usual suspects. Oh man, this one actually had finished up, or was getting close to finished up. I think right now they're on like a hiatus. It's Outer Space Baby. Let me just double check this.
Is that Astro Baby?
Astro Baby. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, that's your show.
It's been pretty good. It's reaching like a pretty good like ending point. Went a lot shorter than I kind of was expecting. I'm just so used to like manga, like hitting like at least 100 chapters. I think this one's like almost less than 50.
Oh my god, that.
Yeah. So I hope it's not because it's not like a forgotten like Neverland thing where like it was just the editors just told them like wrap it up even though they had like a bigger plan. But it doesn't really feel like that. Whereas like Forgotten Neverland, it's like it was very much you feel like someone told you to can this up and then they type thing.
It's like they hit the wrap it up button from Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Still keeping tabs with Chainsaw Man. That was pretty good. Oh, actually, I
The movie's
finally
coming out.
got to watch from beginning to end Madoka Magica. So that was really good.
Oh, okay.
I started that a couple of weeks ago and just forgot to go back to it.
You should go back to it.
You really should.
I haven't
Here-
even watched it.
Here's the thing.
It's on my playlist, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to like disrespect Madoka Magica because there's a member of our council who will put a sniper to my who will just end me depending on what I say about it. Just uncaring.
Choose your words carefully.
She loves it.
It's
It
fantastic.
felt like one of those. I hear that, but it feels like one of those where I'm like, I feel like this would really hit me hard if I had seen it before I watched a bunch of other great stuff.
I don't know actually, honestly, because it kind of comes off as like an anime that would have came out today, but it came out like
Okay.
a decade and a half ago or something like that, or a decade ago.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
older.
surprisingly a lot older than I realized. And the quality holds up very well. Like I kind of wish I saw it back then because I would have just been so much more blown away. But I was still
It's-
pretty blown away by it, honestly.
I've seen Madoka Magica like referenced enough in like the zeitgeist in the anime culture as like one of those. People who watch it love it. It's like a cornerstone piece for a lot of people. So that's why I'm like, oh, I need to watch it eventually. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, my list was already so kind of like big that I'm like, I'll get to this during like a downtime when I'm like fully caught up on a lot of stuff. Not One Piece, not One Piece. That being said,
it's very short, which is good too. It's like only 12
13 episodes, right?
Yeah, 13
Yeah.
episodes.
I think I'm on episode 3 or 4 right now, so I can like binge that. Here's the problem. I fell back into the trap. I'll touch on what I've been reading first. First things first, I got the Overlord manga because anybody who doesn't know this, I'm a huge Overlord fan. Like, yes, I know Isekai. I'm the one who normally shits on Isekai, and like it's high dive bullshit, which I've deaded my beef with high dive. I've deaded it. I've made peace in this lopsided joke war that this multi-billion-dollar company
High
does
Dive
not
did it
need to
their
know.
beef
Does that
with you,
have
though.
anything to do with you being there and they confronted you?
No, no, they did not push up on me. They showed me kindness, and
Are
then I
you
felt
okay?
bad.
Are you under duress right now?
Yeah, let me tell you.
Blink twice if you need
pressed
help.
yet.
Blink twice if there's a gun behind the monitor.
No, no, I am not reading off a script. Oh my god, they went with
Is
a
that
really
good?
good beam
Is
seagull
that
pressing.
good? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
nah, they were great. Also because I keep forgetting they were like one of the few places I can finish watching Don Machi, which I really really like. So I can only talk so much shit. But no, Overlord, I'm a huge fan, and I'm trying to collect like all my favorite anime, the mangas of them. Just go back and read, and then I'm like that corny person who also has like a figure for every anime I love. So I found the Aizel and Ghoul one earlier. Thought it was. I didn't even think it was a manga. I thought it was only a light novel. I just don't have time to collect the light novels like that. I'm like, I want the pretty pictures, and I found them in my local Barnes and Nobles, which never has shit. So I was super hyped. Also reading Windbreaker. I'm fully caught up on Windbreaker right now. That continues to be my runaway favorite manga. Probably, I'm going to say something, and Steve's going to have like a heart attack. It's probably my favorite manga so far since My Hero, because I loved My Hero until that dog shit ending.
I mean, I did
But
too.
yeah, Windbreaker is just. I'm reading on the K manga app. K manga, please sponsor us, or at least give me more like coins to keep reading. Yeah, shameless self ass.
More coin, please. Where coin?
It's so good because and this is the weird thing about it. Everybody knows Windbreaker. It's the super gay fighting show. Like the best way to put it. You would think that gets old after
like
the
that here.
fifth fight. That shit doesn't get old, and not in like this is just always fun to watch. But they're allowing it to be so much more character driven and actually forcing like these guys to involve and confront things, emotions and stuff. That it's always interesting because you're always given a new dynamic because you're like, oh yeah, I kind of know about this guy, and you're like, well, no, we gave you 3 chapters about his family life, and now you're suddenly invested in him, like just eating a corn dog. It's slice of life meets sports anime. Being so character driven makes it amazing. So read Windbreaker. I fucking love it. I'm collecting that also. Trying to also get a Shishi Torin jacket because I'm a disciple of power. Shout out to those guys. I've been watching One Piece. One Piece got me. I finally realized why I have so much beef with it though, and it is effectively because One Piece. Each arc is like watching a new anime, but the arcs that are bad you just can't skip because they're pivotal to the overall narrative. When One Piece slows down, it's a train wreck. Like the pacing is bad. It's kind of annoying. The characters, the dub voices are annoying. There's a lot of bad to it where you're like, I just need to keep this on in the background. Any other show, like because they're also long, there's like I think like 40 episodes you have to get through. You're like, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch something else, right? But you have to get through that dog shit to get through some of the best storytelling I've ever seen in my life. Like I just binged watched Impel Down and Marineford, which everybody knows are like the big one. Or sorry, I was on Sabaody like a month ago, and I just made it through to the end of Marineford, which is effectively slight spoilers for something that is so ingrained in culture. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who hasn't seen it. Sabaody is where you see the crew get split up, and I know they're going to be fine just because I have spoilers and someone who loves it in my house, right? I'm sitting there tearing up at like how heartbreaking it is because I'm like, wait. I know they're going to be okay. I know a time skip's coming, and you're just hearing Luffy go, "Crew, we can't beat them. Run, survive. We will meet up. Save yourself." It's like tearing me apart. And then I'm watching Impel Down, watching him cry over his brother and stuff, try to go through hell. Also need to say this: Bon Clay, aka Mr. Two, or whatever Bon Clay's title was. I accept no Bon Clay slander. Best character I've ever seen in all of anime, if not top 3. Oh, you watch One Piece, don't you? Are you caught up?
I'm now caught up.
Or
There
sorry,
are 10
not
reasons
caught
why I
up.
think Bon Clay is no.
So for kids tell me all the time about One Piece, and I'm like, you get overwhelmed with so many episodes that you're like, I don't know if I should watch this. Plus, people talk about it so often that you're like, I don't know if I can watch this. But when you say the things you say, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta watch.
That's how it gets you. What you could do, and this is what I started doing, I would try to watch an arc or half an arc of One Piece because they are fucking long too. Also, I make liberal use of the skip 10 seconds button when I see it's doing that like bad pacing bullshit. I'm like, nope, skip, 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 cool. Also, the other thing is I currently work from home, so I can like most people have music. I just have One Piece on like in the background because One Piece, the episode, it's so much in it. It will kind of do a very glaring like.
So I've been kind of watching it at work because I work at
Listen,
the
I'll
college
search.
also. So
Yeah.
I been kind of watching it. So I'm sitting at the my desk and I'm like watching episodes while also like doing my job. So,
Yeah.
but I'm like, oh man,
That's why I have
I'm like,
earbuds.
oh.
It's truly some of the greatest. Oda may be the greatest manga of all time, and I'm just seeing how like he's laying everything. But I'm like, I gotta get through it. I'm in like the great part right now, or like the end of it, because like the action's so good. It's doing so many callbacks to characters we've already met, and also because I'm like, oh yeah, I like am effectively binge watching this. So I'm like, oh yeah, I just saw that character. I'm like, oh my god, no, that character hasn't been mentioned in 200 episodes. But the last thing I've been watching, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, even though it's hot mid, is Togen Anki. It's it's basically take. I can't believe I'm
I
saying
started
this.
watching
Please
that.
don't. You did, so you
I
know
did
exactly
start
what
watching that. Yeah.
you know what I'm about to say. If you haven't seen it, this is basically. Shout out to my girlfriend who described it. She goes like, it's just Blue Exorcist, but like the store brand. It's like store brand generic anime stuff. It
That
hits.
is. Well,
If you haven't seen
The
this,
first episode kind of goes along the lines of Blue Exorcist straight out.
yeah,
So, and you're like, oh, okay. So it's another one of those. But then it starts going into some other stuff. So then I'm like, oh, okay. I have to get back to watching it again.
the it you know what it is. It's like someone says, I want to make, you know, when you're like a kid and you kind of like make an oc, and then the oc could branch off like, here's some other ocs to join them. It's that. It's like watching this, I'm like, this feels like I'm watching Naruto again. This feels like I'm watching Blue Exorcist, even though I haven't seen Blue Exorcist. I've seen this anime so many times because it has everything. So like a big secret covert war happening under humans' noses. Everyone has a unique power. The power system is basically imagination
That's
in the effect of like the power system is like the overall story of this is like there's Oni who are amongst the population, and then there's like basically this other group who are hunting them down. The other group have like access to bacteria that gives each of them a unique power. Some lady can just make all her bacteria make an impenetrable box. The other one can raise the dead, and one just controls gravity. Then the Oni fight using their blood, so their blood gives them like a special ability. Our main character, and I'm so glad I finally seen this in anime, he is basically every gun loving character. He's just super into model guns, so his blood literally just creates guns, and he can fire his blood like bullets. You're
almost
muted,
reminds
Mike.
me. Almost reminds me of another show, anime that I got to go back to. That I want to watch again with the Persona 5 anime that I want to rewatch again.
Oh, you know what? Hold that.
I'll give this anime this, that you don't have to watch like 2, 3, 4 episodes for him to get into like using his blood as guns.
No,
He does it within like the first 10 minutes. To be perfect.
Yeah, it's this one's like this one basically says, "Yo, I don't know if we're getting more than 13 episodes, so go." It just kicks you in the deep end. However, the magical words of Persona 5 are mentioned, which means we're going to transition to the one of our main topics. So, and this is brought to my attention by Mike. Sekiro, the video game is getting an anime adaptation. I think I own Sekiro. Yes, I own Sekiro. I haven't played it yet.
I know I own Sekiro. I have the collector's box sitting at the bottom of my shelf over there.
We all own it. We haven't played it, but that doesn't matter.
I started it. I didn't finish. I didn't come anywhere close.
I played it. You should be playing it. Why are you playing it?
Because I have Persona 5, the Kingdom Hearts
Go
collection. Yeah.
Is this turning into a Let's Play podcast? Come on.
Oh my God, please stop. We are so close. Like, we have many ideas, and there's a chance that we do Let's Plays in 2026. So yeah, Sekiro is getting its own anime entitled Sekiro No Defeat, and it's being heralded by Studio Kuzil.la, Kuzil.la, which sounds like a Silicon Valley tech company. It was announced. It was just
Sounds like a
announced
web browser game.
Yeah, it was announced at GameCon 2025, and it's allegedly an anime adaptation of Shadows Die Twice, and it's exclusively being streamed on Crunchyroll. But that's like no real surprise because Crunchyroll's trying to take over everything, and I'm going to open this up for discussion. Right, Sekiro is a video game. Video games are a great storytelling medium. Anime is a great visual medium that tells stories. For some reason, anime based on video games traditionally have been very mediocre. And by mediocre, I mean like they've just been like the game cutscenes put together with like slightly improved dialogue. Looking at you, Danganronpa, the animation.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Ace Attorney. God, there's probably so many more.
It's
Also,
like a it's like an
side,
adjacent point to like the whole like video games and movies, and then it just instead of movies, replace it with anime.
exactly. First thing first, do we think this is going to be good? And if it's going to be bad, do we want to make this like a drunken torture ourselves stream for charity or something?
Well, yes to that. Yes to that, regardless of how good it is. I'm saying that that's just a good idea. We've got to write that down. But to the point where I think that it will actually be a good one is reading the press release information, and I think a step in the right direction that they've taken is that the voice actors that voice the three most prominent characters in the game are reprising their roles for this anime. So I think that is a step in the right direction because they're using the same talent to play the roles. So people especially people who have played the game, will associate the characters and be able to transition to the anime fairly easily and probably get on board with it a lot quicker than to say they were using fresh talent.
Can I ask you this question?
Shoot.
Do you think that this anime is going to be on par with Cyberpunk Edge
Runners?
For me, it depends. So I think thank you for pointing out the one anime that's fucking phenomenal. That's video game.
I loved it. A few points of that anime did fall a bit flat, but you know.
Overall, I think it was like anime of the year. So like when you're anime of the year, you can kind of tell. Like,
points to those who got that reference, by the way.
Yeah. I think,
and I'm probably going to hell for that. Anyway.
I mean, we've seen some improvements there. I also really felt like the Castlevania was really spectacular as well.
I liked the Castlevania one. I do.
Well, then fuck my original point then, because y'all are just bringing up. Thank you for bringing up all the counter events to the argument.
Hey, you signed up for it, man. You signed up for it.
Yeah.
Now play Sekiro. Cut the stream. How do we hit the leave button? Cut the stream. Sekiro time.
I think the thing, especially the strength of Cyberpunk and Castlevania, is when you just create a story that's just based adjacently to the game. So Castlevania is such like a big world. Like Castlevania doesn't do as much as Cyberpunk does, but Cyberpunk just says, hey, we have this world that was a game, but you can tell 10,000 stories in that world, right? You could tell one of an edge runner, you can tell one of like a weapon smuggler, and it could be a great narrative where you're just taking from the video game world. So it's obviously a video game anime, but it's not in the same way as like what I'm led from this press release to be is a retelling of the game's story just as an anime, which I think hurts a lot of things, especially like the movie stuff and the video game stuff, because it's like it sometimes feels like they're fighting so hard to like attract the game fans instead of telling a good story for the anime fans to give it back to the game. And then that could kind of like impact creative decisions and everything. Castlevania didn't do that too much because Castlevania was great, but Castlevania has also been around for like so long. There was so much like meat on the bone for them to pick off of from where I was looking at it.
Yeah.
So my question in regards to this is this a situation in which we're trying to expand upon the Sekiro world, or are we trying to just sell a DLC?
I mean, didn't actually no, Sekiro's didn't get a sequel.
Well, they're stressing it as an anime adaptation of the game. So I think it's just basically going to be almost as if like you were to take the cutscenes and string it together instead of it being actually that it's in an animated format. Uh, so I don't they without actually having seen it because it's which we're not going to get until 26. It's kind of hard to say, but based off of because I was looking at the trailer and the poster art for the series. You were asking a bit before, Michael, if you're saying if it was like on par with Cyberpunk. I would say that probably would be close, at least in terms of style, because it does because in thinking of like Cyberpunk, it does look like it shares a similar like I want to say like color palette, maybe not as much in the neon, but you know. Otherwise,
To kind of piggyback off of what Akira had said, it's more or less like, so I don't know, because Cyberpunk, for as good as it was, at the end of the day, it brought us back to Cyberpunk. Whereas Sekiro, there is no Sekiro game coming out anytime soon. So to me, it kind of lends itself to being an expansion of that world versus, hey, we got a new, DLC coming out. Come on back, type thing. So, and that's why I'm kind of waiting to see what the Sekiro anime is going to really look like for me to go, all right, this is an expansion of the world versus, oh, let's go back to Sekiro.
Yeah, it looks like because I'm looking at some of the because they did make they did a quote who did they quote here? They did take a quote I think from one of the publishers, a director.
Yeah.
It was director. I just saw it. They're basically saying looks like they're focusing on the art direction for the series. It's basically story wise. I think there may be some. It depends on how they patch it together, or like how they split the story angle up. How they handle it.
Because we can say whatever we want to say in regards to Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but Edge Runners, if you think about the focus as if we were to step back and look at it as in regards to marketing, it was a matter of Cyberpunk had a lot of bad press. We got to do something to bring people back. Whereas Sekiro, there's no game coming out anytime soon, as far as I know. So it's more or less like Castlevania, where it kind of lends itself to like expanding on the world itself, so that people can come back into the game and go, oh, okay, I know what Castlevania is all about. I can go into this anime, watch the anime. I've watched the Castlevania anime. I mean, I don't even play Castlevania half the time, but I'll watch the anime. So I think it's on that level. And I think that's what Sony or whoever it is that makes Sekiro is trying to do. And I think that's a good look on their end. If it's like a Cyberpunk CD Project Red kind of situation, not saying that it was a cash grab, but at the same time, the anime was really good, but it did bring us back to Cyberpunk. And Cyberpunk had horrible price.
It didn't job as being a like well executed cleanup job. Like it overshot itself. It's just like, hey, you just need to distract. It's like, no. Not only want to distract, I'm going to rewrite the record.
They
now everybody go play the game.
Yeah, they kind of tripped over their own feet while simultaneously putting said feet in their own mouths. That's kind of like what happened there.
Yeah, they just sort of, like,
And from what I've read, it looks like the focus from the director is basically to kind of like bring people back to Sekiro, and kind of like bridge the people who are longtime fans from the game and people who have not experienced it before. So if with this being a direct adaptation of the game in just a straight anime form, if they bring in those people, the people who are fresh and they like it, well, hey, let's go back to this, let's go back and revisit the
And
game.
we have to keep this in mind in regards to Sekiro. Outside of the game that came out, I think it was on PS3 or PS4.
PS4 and Xbox
PS4.
360.
So
Xbox One.
outside of that game, they never came out with anything prior to that or since then. Whereas
I think that could be a
Castlevania has had a lot of games. Pokemon has had a lot of games. Even Cyberpunk has had a lot of games. Tales of Symphonia had a lot of games. So
I believe Cyberpunk had books as well too prior to the
Yeah.
game.
Cyberpunk
I think it was
is just
the game was
doesn't
based off
have
the
any
books.
of that. So,
yeah, it's
I-
mainly like a tabletop like RPG books. What other
Yeah,
Cyberpunk
Yeah, I
games
played
have come
I
out?
played the RPG. It's rough. It's a fun system, but it's a rough system.
It's a
Yeah.
classic like tabletop RPG, which usually involves like a lot of mechanics, a lot of skills. This ain't D&D 5th edition.
Yeah, no, it was fun playing. I once again played with the same person who loves Madoka Magica, and she wasted no time in shooting my character in the face. She says, "Oh, this is a tougher battle than I made it to be. You're going weakening, right?" She says, "No, he's going to shoot you in the face with a shotgun." That's half my health.
But in this regard, I'm kind of looking into and kind of wanting to see more that develops from this, as opposed to it being like a cash grab.
Yeah, I think depending upon how popular it ends up getting, we could possibly see new IP developed from it, or a continuation of where they left off.
Yeah.
I guess that's my question, because Sekiro was a singular game, right? And to my knowledge, I don't think it was like a lot of DLC. It was a light game, but it's not one of those where it's held in the cultural zeitgeist of like this was defining a console generation. So with this anime, as we're talking, I think that kind of works the weakness. I think that kind of hurts the anime more, because instead of it being this thing that we're all excited for, where there's a lot of cachet and not allegiance, but like reference to it, it kind of has to do the job of how do we as an anime encourage people to want to go back and play this game, even though we literally just told them the story, right? Because Sekiro is such a story-driven game, it's one of those like, well, if I already know the beats of the story, and two, I don't have to deal with these tough-ass boss fights. I can just I can get the joy of playing the game, versus something like Castlevania or Cyberpunk, where it's like, no, we've given you so many stories. Playing the game and watching the anime are just existing. You are getting fed more of the world. However, you can go engage, like you're getting to engage in a different part of it. So you're never truly satisfied, because you always have more to consume. You're not eating the same meal. You're just eating at the same restaurant, type of deal.
I think the big thing is like if you get like an attachment to like the anime, you're gonna want to like immerse yourself into like more of that. So like for example, like with Cyberpunk, if you had like a pretty strong attachment to it, and I think this also kind of goes into at the end of the day, like if an anime is just like a cash grab like reference thing, it's gonna like come off that way. The authenticity is going to like show whether it's committed or not. Like Cyberpunk, for example, that clearly understands Cyberpunk, not just the universe, but also like the genre itself. The fact that it is a dystopia, the fact that this like neon color thing and stuff like this. This isn't a good like heaven or anything. This is like there's like so many layers. It understands like the themes perfectly well, and it executes that. And it doesn't do like it doesn't try to do like a bunch of like plugs or like like references. It's pretty like well like self-contained. Or if it does have any references, they're more like discreet. Like you don't do like the Star Wars thing where you're just like, oh, here's Glup, And Castlevania, for example, like it has a lot of references to like different areas of the games, but they're very discreet. You could easily just take these and it's just a cool monster.
But Castlevania also gives you a little bit of familiar because it revolves around vampires and everything else, and everybody can pull from that. Whereas Sekiro is familiar, but it's familiar based upon Souls-like games. And
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of Soul-like games. The closest I get to like Soul-like is probably like Armored Core, which is the original. I fight everybody in about how I'm the biggest mecha fan, and I play Armored Core games, and people are like, I fight everybody in regards to that. But that's a whole nother conversation.
It's the
which
goat.
we'll talk about
Well,
later.
one other thing to think about when at least talking from the side of like whether it's like a cash grab kind of thing is that when doing something like that, they'll do it at times where it's at peak popularity. This game was released in 2019, so that's
Yeah.
That's 6 years ago.
But
And it didn't even get the
problem
COVID
though
bump.
Over 6 years ago.
though is Sekiro is a Souls-like, and there are
Yes,
always
but there-
Souls-likes coming out.
If in terms on that side of the argument though is that if they were to go to do something to develop an anime again as a cash grab on a Souls like, well, Demon Souls and other Souls games which are more well known you would think would be a better choice.
Okay, here's another. I guess
Because
here's
it's more
another like, wrench
widely
to
known.
think about. With does the Sekiro story, was it good enough to warrant an anime, or because now that you're saying it, because I keep forgetting Sekiro was a Souls like it was a part of that like it Neo, like why give Sekiro the anime adaptation? And I don't know, like I haven't played the game, I own it. It's just in the big to be play pile where it's like, was the story that good? Was it heavily inspired by mythology in a way that does feel familiar? Because now there's a thing of Cyberpunk was built because it was an institution, and Castlevania people grew up on that.
Well,
But with Sekiro, because it's only a Souls like, and it was riding a wave, not trying to be disparaging of the game's popularity, but it was being released as like this type of game is popular. Was the story even a thing that people cared about? Because I don't even hear people talk about Sekiro. When they talk about it, they do not talk about the story.
See, the thing about Sekiro is it's from Software.
yeah.
And From Software does Armored Core, it does Demon Souls, it does all these things. So I think it's on the anime is the purpose of the anime is to show the actual storyline in regards to Sekiro versus it just being a Souls like. And
Yeah,
So the game was
company,
I agree,
everybody
it's-
expects Souls likes from.
Yeah,
So the
I
game
agree
was
on that
too
because
tough,
like
and they
just
had
like
to-
comparing it to the Cyberpunk one, the Cyberpunk was a separate storyline altogether. It was just in the world of Cyberpunk, whereas this one is just basically retelling of the story itself to bring it back. Bring it back to life to try to bring fans back into and showcase the story.
And not to be on some like, money, this, that, and the third, cash grab. Since Sekiro is made by From Software has so much cachet in the industry that regardless of what they come out with, people are going to buy it.
Okay. They say, hey man, we print money. Like every other one is a hit.
They go, hey,
All
you
right.
guys want to hate yourself even more? Here's another game.
Okay, so what I've gotten from this entire conversation is Sekiro, the anime is being created because From Software realized the game was too hard, and people were not, and people need to see how beautiful the world is.
So I'll say this: I'm a fan. Like I said, I'm a fan of Armored Core. I've played some Souls-like games outside of Armored Core. I think if the anime comes out, when the anime comes out, I think people are going to give it a benefit of the doubt. People are going to watch it regardless because it's from Software. They want to see, all right, so what is the background in regards to this game? And it's only been one game, like we mentioned before, so it's not like we can pull from other games like Castlevania. There's a plethora of games that came out that are Castlevania. So,
From Software, I say that 5 times fast.
But no, I was about to try. No.
No.
I mean, hey, oh, sorry, go
Another
ahead,
thing I
Steve.
think that's also worth noting is a lot of times I think these like uh game adaptations, it's not really like a Disney thing where it's like anything that they produce in their umbrella is gonna make it money. A lot of times I feel like the studios like uh sort of like financial streams are kind of sometimes totally different from the games. And a pretty big example of that was Arcane. Arcane, which is an adaptation of League of Legends, that had been a very like successful television series, but it didn't like convert people to become League of Legends players because there wasn't really like much like alignment there.
All right, I
But
feel so
the
bad
problem
mentioning
with
this without
Arcane,
AG.
because
I feel
Arcane,
so bad.
there's so
That's
many
like
people
Speaking
who
about games, I
watch
want to
the
make you hate
show.
yourself.
There's so many people who watch the show and have no idea it's associated to a video game. Versus, there's a lot of people who play the video game but never watch the show.
Well, with League of Legends, the game itself is a showcase. Like they basically made a show out of the characters' backstories. Is essentially what Arcane is. It's just basically like they took the backstories, whatever information with lore that they built up to that point, and strung it together.
yeah.
To make Arcane. So it's a
It,
little bit of a different, a little bit of a different beast than say like taking the story parts from say like Sekiro or from other things like Persona, the Persona series, and making a series out of that.
I
Because
think this
those
has
games
more
are
to do.
yeah.
I think this has more to do with me being an editor. But I remember Cyborg saying that he wants another Giants.
listen, I want another True Damage song.
Song.
I need more music from
Like
True
I don't
Damage.
even watch the show, but I just want another one
So
of those songs to come out.
yeah, no, 100. So here, quick thing. I'm being a Philios. Shout out to you, bud. You're just not because we're talking about your love. League, I'd have no want to play the games. I truly don't give a fuck about the game. Like beyond just like, oh, what's happening in like the world of gaming, right? The music, half my workout playlist are like League songs because for some reason they say, hey, we have to drop this high intense energy
When
banger.
Riot goes hard, they go hard.
I
Oh my,
mean,
yeah,
they had
why
KDA, they had Giants, they had Heart. What is it? Heartsteel.
Heart Steel
Heartsteel.
Paranoia
There it
is the
is.
song. Yeah. Also, the music videos are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They
Side
they,
note
they,
for
they,
crew.
they make some good music videos. I mean, not even just with League's stuff. Valorant, which I actually do play, which is another Riot game.
Valorant's still around?
They make. Oh yeah, yeah, it's still
Huh.
going. They've come out. They've. I mean, granted, I haven't played the game in a while, and they have like I forget how many agents now, but I think recently they came out with two within the past couple months.
I mean, Marvel Rivals kind of came in hot and fast and dominated everything. So I'm like, oh, it didn't bury everything?
But yeah, the Valorant. If you look up Valorant music videos, and I think you'll be thoroughly impressed.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. I have been one of your hosts for this exciting affair, Cyborg. And my rest of my co-hosts, please give your goodbyes.
Can't wait to
Cheers,
see you
Steve.
guys next time. Waldo again streaming on twitch.tv/Waldo0120. And I stream at least once a week, usually on the weekends.
I'm Acerus, the background guy. I do a lot of the editing, and I'm looking forward to the next episode.
And I'm Care Steve. I do a little bit of everything, and post sometimes on Instagram. It's Steven J Valley. I hope to see you all next time.
Adios. Bye.
Bye.